Okay, hey everyone, and welcome back. I just thought we would talk about something today, and so we might as well continue the Yearly Yaps series. We're here with the Nautilus V2. Sorry if my voice sounds a little off. I've been sick for the last week or so. But yeah, today I thought we could take a little look at clones. Now, I've owned a lot of clones during the time I've flipped. So my opinion on them are pretty neutral, to be honest. They're not necessarily good, but they're not necessarily bad. But of course, clones have always been like a really controversial theme. Some people like them, some people don't, simply because it's they're cloning something. They're taking a design and just profiting off of somebody else's design. So I kind of see why people don't like them. I can also see how people do like him. Oh man. At least to me, I like clones because I don't have money. I don't have a job. I don't have any way of making money. So just kind of had to do what I could with what I had. And clones were like the cheapest option. So yeah, I think that's like the main argument when it comes to people buying clones and supporting them. And I also find it to be a pretty big difference when people make clones with like their own brand and call it a clone. And there's a difference between that and making a product trying to replicate the real product, like copying the name and stuff. So like the Blue River like products, they seem to try to make counterfeits, which that is a sort of cloning I don't support, where brands like Bally Plus, Armshark, The One, and a lot of others. Oh shit. That's where my opinion is a lot more neutral. Since sure, they're taking a design, they're using it, but they're also like making sure that it's known that they're cloning it, and that it's a cloning brand that they're buying. So that is a different story. But I've heard people that don't like clone brands as well, which sure, I support that, I guess. I'm not really against it, but I understand their perspective. But not everyone can really afford buying original products, no matter how cheap. But now it is definitely easier to avoid clones, but some of us might buy them just to get an sort of like an idea of what it would look like to have the real product in hand. At least that's what it was to me. That's kind of why I bought clones, because I wanted to see how it looked. I wanted to get an idea of how it would look if I had a real one. And plus I didn't have any money. It's not cheap getting original products, especially from brands like Squid Industries. But now their cheaper options are coming up. So like the Ballis has been a really good example for like new cheaper stuff. And brands like LDY. So it's different, but if people want like, let's say Nautilus, but they can't afford a real one, I don't think it would be that big of a deal if they got like an Armshark clone or a Nautilus Gnarls Baliclus clone or something like that. I don't think that would be that big of a deal. It's just so like they can get that experience that they want out of flipping something that looks like a Nautilus in their hand, and not just something that they got because it's cheap. So I think that's a pretty fair argument to buy clones, especially for people that don't live in the US, where shipping can be extremely expensive if you buy stuff from the US. So yeah, I don't necessarily support clones. I don't necessarily I'm against clones. I have a bit of a mixed opinion on them, really. I'm a bit neutral in this gray area. Like, if someone buys clones because they either want to compare or they can't afford it, they want to see what it would look like, I wouldn't really mind. It's not that big of a deal then. Simply because it is for the experience, and not because it is a clone. But maybe that's all they can afford at the moment. Maybe the original products aren't available in their country. It can be all sorts of reasons people buy clones. So I don't know. I just don't think people should be flamed for buying clones. But yeah, that was pretty much my opinion on clones. Please comment yours. I would love to know others' opinions and other perspectives on stuff like this, because clones has always been like such a gray area in the community, and especially now when clones are getting better, it can be almost, for some, the clones might even be better. So yeah, it's a weird situation. It's always been a weird situation. But that was pretty much it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and let me know your opinion and perspective on the clones. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.